My report is about cognitive theories of bilingualism. So, first, what is bilingualism? Bilingualism is the ability to have two languages um, to speak, or the ability to have two languages. So, my report is about the theories or the cognitive theories about bilingualism. So, first is the common underlying proficiency by James Common. Cummins believes that in the course of learning one language, a child acquires a set of skills and implicit metalinguistic knowledge that can be drawn upon working in another language. So, this CUP is represented by this. The common underlying proficiency model described by Jim Cummins purports that proficiencies involving more cognitively demanding tasks, such as literacy, content learning, abstract thinking, and problem solving, are common across languages. The CUP model is called the linguistic interdependence hypothesis. The CUP provides the base for the development of both the first language and the second language. It follows that any expansion of CUP that takes place in one language will have a beneficial effect on the other language. This theory also serves to explain why it becomes easier and easier to learn additional languages. So the picture shows that the L1 and the L2 have the same base, which is the common underlying languages proficiency. So this shows that how you learn the L1 is the way you will learn the L2. So it is your base, so it is your foundation to to learn your languages. So next theory is the iceberg theory. This iceberg theory represents this diagram. So above you will see two different sections, which is the L1 and the L2. But if you see underneath, you will see that it is just in a one base. It comes up from the same root. So Cummins' interdependence or iceberg theory reveals the relationship of the first language to the learning of another language. What appears to be two very different phenomena on or above the surface is usually interdependent psychologically. So next is the threshold theory. The hypothesis proposed by Jim Cummins is called the additive bilingualism enrichment principle. It explains the relationship between bilingualism and cognition, supporting the notion that individuals with high levels of proficiency in both languages experience cognitive advantages in terms of linguistic and cognitive flexibility, while low levels of proficiency in both languages results in cognitive deficits. This hypothesis further describes the three types of bilinguals: proficient, partial, and limited, and two distinctive processes of bilingualism: an additive bilingualism and subtractive bilingualism. So, if you are proficient in proficient bilingualism, so you have more benefit in terms of linguistic and cognitive. But if you have in you're in low level in both languages, so you have low benefit, or you have negative effects to cognitive and linguistic aspects. So also called as the additive bilingualism enrichment principle. It explains the relationship between bilingualism and cognition, supporting the notion that individuals with high levels of proficiency in both languages experience cognitive advantages in terms of linguistic and cognitive flexibility, while low levels of proficiency in both languages results in cognitive deficits. So lastly, this is the last theory in cognitive bilingualism, the BICS and CALPS. So BICS stands for Basic Interpersonal Communicative Skill. And the CALPS stands for Cognitive Academic Linguistics Proficiency Skills. So, comments express that this distinction as terms of basic interpersonal communicative skills and cognitive language proficiency. So, this distinction has been very influential but criticized. BICS is said to occur when there are contextual support and props for language delivery, face-to-face, context-embedded, and this provides, for example, nonverbal support to secure understanding, actions with eyes and hands, instant feedback, cues and clues support verbal languages, while CALPS, on the other hand, is said to occur in context-reduced academic situations. When higher order thinking skills like analysis, synthesis, evaluation, hypothesizing, inferring, or so on are required to the curriculum language is disembedded from a meaningful supportive context. Where language is disembedded, the situation is when reduced to an context reduced. CALP is specific to the context of schooling. So, what is the classroom implication of these theories? It has been found that students who had some schooling in their primary language will succeed academically as they are learning in the second language. Teachers will be able to take advantage of the skills and linguistic knowledge and context areas that the students already know. When second language learners come to school with a good academic foundation in their primary language, their learning of a second language broadens their foundation for further learning. As students are learning the second language, it will be important for them to continue learning context in their primary language at home and at school, giving um, students a benefit in their literature in both language will and encourage them in their academic success. So that's the end of my report. Thank you guys. I hope you've learned something. So hope to see you guys. Bye bye.